budget committee. That's not the budget committee. That's the debt committee.
I wanted to
proceed.
talk about it. Just a little. Yeah, they've done a good job, mostly on agriculture, education, health. That's where my concern was, because last time there was a lot of gaps. And last week I had discussed about it. So today I was just here to listen to Ndindi Nyoro, how he's misleading Kenyans, and warn him to stop that. We should take Kenyans serious and take every issue that we raise.
Order. The word misleading is a parliamentary word. It necessarily does not attract a point of order, but proceed if you want to say something. What's your point of order?
Mr. Speaker, is it in order for a member who was visibly asleep to just wake up, purport you are discussing the budget report, and then go ahead to impute improper motives upon a member who gave a very objective consideration of the report before the House? I request Honorable Omanyo, when you are in the House, be in the House. You seem to be troubled.
Honorable Ndindi, order. I think Parliament is allowed, the House is allowed, occasionally to have that banter, what would you call it, kanda. But then, yeah, you've made your point, yeah. But for your information, we are not discussing the budget report, we're discussing the debt report, the public debt. Proceed.
Mr. Speaker, I think my colleague raises his voice where it's not even necessary to do that. I was just calmly reminding him, it's out of this budget that we pay our debts. It's out of this budget that I'm seeing so much has been sealed to avoid at least to reduce corruption. So we keep reducing our loans, our debt, and I don't know why he keeps on screaming when talking. Can he also learn how to talk to others? Ndindi Nyoro, don't be screaming at people like that.
There being no... Mutunga, do you wish to contribute on this, or you made your point? You wish to contribute? Okay, proceed. Dr. Mutunga. How about, where is Dorothy Ikiara? Where is my sister? Oh, yes, Ikiara, you are there. You're next. And then I don't think there's any more interest. We'll have to ask the mover to reply. Proceed.
Madam Speaker, thank you very much for the opportunity to add my voice to commending the committee for the report and seek for the adoption of the report. Madam Speaker, I support that we adopt this report. Madam Speaker, I have noted with a lot of appreciation that this committee clearly edged the report on the debt management policy that was presented to this House, and it was seriously discussed before we started discussing the budget activities of this year. And Madam Speaker, that report was launched in the first quarter of this year, not financial year, this calendar year. And I remember we discussed that report and adopted as a House. Madam Speaker, the committee has highlighted or observed quite a number of issues that are important to this particular discussion and important to this particular country as we are. Madam Speaker, the committee has specifically noted that we have institutions in this country that are raising, or rather that are raising revenue in terms of appropriation in aid. And this appropriation in aid, Madam Speaker, whether it is disclosure levels or the fact that the appropriation in aid does not rise to the extent that it supports Treasury to cushion its expenses, then there is an issue, because we have not realized many institutions coming up with A&A that is enough to finance their budget and also surrender 90% or 100% and then get back 10% of the revenue raised to the institutions themselves. That would enable Treasury to be able to allocate this money to other sectors. And, Honourable Speaker, I'm aware, or privy to the information, that Treasury sometimes goes goes out to try and capture those who are trying to keep this revenue to the institutions. And I remember 2 years ago, Honorable Speaker, there was the moratorium that every state corporation that has not been able, that is not able, every state corporation should be able to support at least 30% of their budget. And Honorable Speaker, there are also measures that have been put in place, and we are aware that the Budget and Appropriation Committee cannot pass a money bill if that money bill does not appear to be making enough money or raising enough revenue to support their activities, or overstrain the exchequer, because most of them basically target the exchequer. And if the money bill basically focuses on getting money from exchequer, in most cases, Honorable Speaker, the objective decision of the Budget and Appropriation Committee is to stop that particular money, a bill from passing through, so that we may not occasion excessive expenditure from exchequer. Honorable Speaker, my appeal to many institutions in this country is to be honest in their reporting, because, Honorable Speaker, it is possible to discover that some of the institutions do not display or they do not disclose the amount of revenue that they generate. And this is an aspect that we need to focus on as a country, to ask ourselves what kind of institutional or structural management tools that we need to adopt. Like, for instance, the management applications that we have that would basically disclose how much revenue is being raised by the different institutions. Honorable Speaker, looking at the changed circumstances, and I wish to allude to the fact that this country is today running at an extremely high cost. In the sense that, Honorable Speaker, if you look at before implementation of the Constitution 2010, the government used to be extremely lean. We basically started the implementation of the county arrangement, the devolved arrangement, and the demand for money increased. Besides basically also being at a stage of development where we also are running, we are moving very fast in terms of what needs to be done. Honorable Speaker, on the other hand, we also should be private to the fact that as we move forward, the changing circumstances and the demands that are coming up occasion us to look for money. But, Honorable Speaker, it is a standing position of this government that we should borrow a lot more from externally in terms of long-term concessional loans, which are cheaper.
Madam Ikera, and then I'll call on the mover to reply.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I too want to thank the Chair and the Committee on Public Debt and Privatization on this very important move. Honorable Speaker, I support and I say the committee's observation and the committee's recommendations should be followed so that, Honorable Speaker, we can be able to move this country. Honorable Speaker, it is true that we need money for development. It is true, Honorable Speaker, that for a very long time, we've had a crisis in the education sector where our teachers were not being employed for a long, long time. And, Honorable Speaker, this particular committee has come out with the recommendations and their observations, and I hope they will be adhered to. Honorable Speaker, I support.
Under the circumstances, I'll call on the Honorable Chair of the committee the mover to reply.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I wish to thank the honorable members for taking their time to contribute to this report on the public debt of the Public Debt and Privatization Committee on the Consolidated Fund Services under the budget estimates 2026-2027. The committee is grateful for the support that the House has given, and in particular, I want to note those Honorable Ndindi Nyoro, Honorable Undo, the Majority Leader, Honorable Kimani Chungwa, and as some of those who contributed well to this debate. Chair, being the Committee on Public Debt, I want to put the record straight. You have asked a few questions about the debt. In June 2022, the debt was 8.579 trillion. June 2023, it was 10.279 trillion. June 2024, it was 10.361 trillion.